Burger King has Star Wars Grogu meals. We gotta go, come on. I've never been that into Burger King, honestly. And, Grogu? Did they finish with the K-pop Demon Hunter stuff? That was already way too little, way too late? We hurry, I bet he'll do a backflip. Well, alright, we can go. And we'll ask for a backflip, but... No, Quilla, of course he's not gonna do one, but we have to let Ruka dream. He's gonna crash out if we say no. We gotta take it aside. Well, we can ask. He can do it, I know he can do it. No, maybe he can, but we'll see. We'll see. Just remember, he might be tired. There's probably a lot of people asking for backflips. Go backflip burger, let's go. He's a little stupid baby. He's not even addicted to ketamine. That you know of. Fox just scared the shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck is Frank Oregon doing here? No, I remember. That mod I have gave him the cool arm blade set. Where's he looking? Sarah Lyons, who... Despite the mod advertising otherwise, I checked the page, can't take off this armor.
Sure thing.
She literally can't remove it. Like, they advertise, like, fully customizable companions. You can take off their default gear and give them something else. Sarah refuses to take that off under any circumstances, even if given way better armor.
You've done so much for us. I did mark this. So, we got, the Chrysalis building. Be going there today. Because, last I checked, this modded quest I installed, it starts on the balcony of it, is what they said. And if I'm misremembering that, we're gonna have a fun time me trying to figure out where I'm actually going.
Please stand clear of the gate.
Yeah, so last we left off, we finished Project Purity, and... actually, no, we finished exterminating the Enclave, except we didn't. Look, I get the small group that escaped Navarro on one vertibird. And I'll accept there was, like, a second group that was able to rebuild, but how the fuck are the Enclave coming back in the TV show? Like, even longer later. I know they haven't actually shown up, but the implication is that they are going to next season. I also despise the idea of House being afraid of them at all. Resident Evil Umbrella just having more secret labs. The Enclave also had more secret labs. And I get them having more labs, but like... How many times can we blow up the home base where they have their president seated? In the post-apocalypse, before it's like, okay, they're out of secret bases, they couldn't have maintained them all by this point. Like, Umbrella, it's still a mostly functioning society outside of them. Like, there's specific cities that are hell. but it's the opposite in Fallout. There are specific cities that are not hell in Fallout. There's not infrastructure. You can't just keep building more bases. And I'm sorry, but the nukes had to take out most of your bases, no matter how many you have. It's a nuke. Tends to do that.
I'm not looking for trouble or conversation either.
Fair enough. Is like, there is still always the feeling of, yeah, I feel like Umbrella should have run out of money by some point during a lot of this crap. Like, you can actually see the prices for their bioweapons in Resident Evil 8, which is really funny. So you can calculate exactly how much money Leon cost them. Is like, how are they not bankrupt after Leon just rushes through? Gets ridiculous at some point. But I feel like it's also a way less serious series in a lot of ways.
You're dead.
Not in every way, don't get me wrong. Fallout doesn't always take itself seriously. With Resident Evil, I feel like there's always the underlying, yeah, the first game was kind of a parody of B-movie horror. At least the English dub felt like that. Jury's still out if they did that on purpose or not. What do you think? Was the bad voice acting an intentional choice to try to recreate bad horror movies? I like to think it was, but I'm also well aware of how a lot of, especially at the time, Japanese companies would try to localize stuff. Everyone was actually just based on Sweet Home and played it straight. Bad voice acting seems to have been a language issue between the voice director, and they likely would cut different takes together for some reason. Ah. Right. I was fully willing to believe either, that it was intentional satire, or that it was just, you know, bad communication between people who, you know, didn't speak the same language. Who's around me? Ah! The ball-playing Raiders. Oh. Well done, dog meat. Yeah, I've seen Resident Evil 1 played. But I've only really played, like, 7 and 8 myself.
Game's over!
Actually, I think I've seen a few of them played. I think I've seen someone play 4... I think 2? Definitely 2, at least the remake I saw. 3 didn't really get goofy till 4. First couple games really stuck to that, like, Master of Survival Horror. Well, Escape the Nightmare thing. Then Leon watched, I guess, Evil Dead... I don't know why they decided to change the tone up in 4 so much. Well, it was also their best received game. Kinda stays a lot of people's favorites even today.
Hurry up and die! I'm hungry! No!
There's a lot of super mutants.
Stay back!
Correct, Amada, that is the name of the perk used to just blast them away. Okay. Level 4, and you much prefer the action camp. Because you stuck to the survival horror inventory management of the original, so you never minded the shift. That's fair. I imagine that's true for a lot of people. And, like, to be fair, that's also... When that kind of shift happens, and then they get their biggest game ever, they'll start leaning into it more. Like, Oblivion leaned away from a lot of the... Not all of them, but a good few of the RPG conventions that Morrowind stuck very strictly to. But then... And Skyrim leaned away from them even harder, though still staying very firmly a role-playing game. And a good one. I don't mean to disparage it by any means. But after Skyrim's massive success, they decided to push it even further. Or Fallout 4 leaned, I'd say, too far away from the, from a lot of the RPG mechanics. Not all of them. I still enjoy Fallout 4, but to play it the way I want to, I need to mod it. Yeah, Resident Evil, again, they went campier in 4, and I believe 5 and 6 as well. Although I don't... 6 was not well received, is my understanding. Because it was basically, like... Each character's story was basically a different game entirely, and some of them were just better than others. I believe, if I'm to understand correctly, Leon's section of 6 was just kind of worse version of Resident Evil 4. Ah, bear trap. Didn't see that. It's funny, after they overdid it on 6, they recorrected in 7. Which is probably... It's still got that camp in it, you know, it's got the chainsaw fight. I can't ever claim it's not at least a little campy when it's got that boss fight in it. But it very much leaned into the horror aspects more than 6 did. And more than a good chunk of the spin-offs did as well, I believe. I should have picked that. Wasn't thinking. I missed valuable experience points. At least semi-valuable. It's weird. Is 8 less campy than 7? Despite being a lot more action-oriented with its gameplay? When I think about it, I think it might actually be. Because I can't pick out, like, a real standout moment of it. Like, really being silly. I guess some of Heisenberg's traps were kind of silly. Like, his trap early on that's very obviously... Oh no. However would I get through this door?
Found you. Or Elder Lion. Where?
Ooh. I did not realize how damaged Lincoln's repeater was.
Maybe I'm just jumpy.
What was that? Now try. I smelled your morning.
Yeah. And the Vampire Dragon 2 was pretty over the top. It was kind of over the top, but again, I don't know if it felt campy was the thing. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because it felt like it was taken very seriously, both by the game and you feel like you're taking it seriously when it happens. But compare that to the chainsaw fight in 7, where it's like... Ethan's taking it kind of seriously, but they're also winking a little bit to the audience by having Jack say, groovy, and ask you if you're having fun in the middle of it, you know? Huh. That's odd. What? Something's happened here. You see it too, right? You see this set of numbers. You see there's something wrong here, right? I am going to save, and then I'm going to look at... No, I have to be in the main menu to do that. I'm going to check on this. Something odd is happening. Yes, my utilities are still there. Check tweaks. Da-da-da... Hang on, No, I didn't alter the max character level. Something set it to 56. Why 56? I don't know. I was concerned for a brief time that I was the one who'd done it, but that kind of proves I didn't. And I know for a fact I haven't altered that setting. Like, I didn't remember at any point having messed with that. I didn't think I had. 56, what a weird number. Why that number? Is it because it's divisible by 4? And the Benny mod by default wants it to be divisible by 4? Then I would imagine 52 would be where they'd cap it instead of that. So odd. Alternatively, it's possible the fight technically isn't over yet. Everyone still had their weapons drawn. Oh dear. Only do that to get out of stuck places. That was a weird clipping location. Owie. But back to my point, like, the most I can see it being camp is, like, the trap Heisenberg kind of sets you up to escape at the beginning of the game. And especially with Heisenberg's joke during it. I guess Heisenberg in general is a little campy, but then again, still gets taken seriously later. Even if it still has camp moments, I think it's still way less campy than 7 was. Which is saying something. Ooh! Get the fuck out of me. Use that to fix up the Lincoln gun. You wonder how microfusion cells are involved in the construction of our, like, string-rigged shotgun. That's very hard to say. Well-made trap in that case. I think RE8 does just play itself serious. It's also aware of, like, how crazy it is. Again, the story being the ultimate form of I'm looking for my daughter trope. In this one, his daughter is literally in multiple pieces you need to reassemble. Ethan collecting them like, ah, cool, got it, after a big boss. That's also just the norm for Resident Evil 2. That is a good point. You bring up the pieces, and him kind of not reacting later on. But at the same time, the first time he realizes one of those is a severed piece of his infant daughter, he genuinely breaks down, and the Duke has to tell him that she's still recoverable from that. Like, he doesn't just passively accept that weirdness, he needs other weirdness to assure him this can be fixed. Ethan is probably always gonna be my favorite Resident Evil protagonist. I know a lot of people it's gonna be Leon. But I started on 7, he's always gonna be it for me. Although I do know people who... Genuinely, I don't hear people bad-mouthing Ethan. Like, they still call him one of the best ones. Like, who's a Resident Evil protagonist who's actually not well-liked? Probably just Billy from Zero? Wait, do you even play as Billy? I genuinely don't remember. I don't think the Zero protagonists are too well-liked, just because Zero also isn't very well-liked. But even for some of the flops, like, a lot of people don't like 5, you still like Chris Redfield. He's still cool. It'd be really weird if he had no reaction, it would make him look kinda psycho, which is part of the game. Playing things straight, but then that needs to give way to all the craziness after. Yeah. But, again, that works to its advantage. Like, it plays it straight the moment it needs to, but it also lets people recover from it slightly faster so it can go back to being a bit goofy. It is goofy, but not ever at the expense of its characters, which I think is exactly what you need to do. Hell's going on here? Girls, you finding these guys? Amada, where the hell did you find that? Jeez, girl. Plays Rebecca and Billy, and it's okay, the fight wasn't over. That's what was happening. I was like, 56 is such a weird place to stop. I think RE8 held the balance of real horror / action tone, but also keeping the camp and charm this series has become known for. That's why it's one of your favorites. Yeah. Between 8 and 7, I think I honestly flip-flop which one I like more. 8 has the tighter gameplay, which I appreciate, but 7 is a lot spookier. Usually. Except for the fucking baby. You know what I'm talking about. I do not want rad absorption. Nerves of Steel is kind of useful.
What is the meaning of this?
Oh, magnificent King Crag, fearless leader of Rockopolis, it's me, Daring.
I don't want Irradiated Beauty. I want to stay at level 1 radiation.
I should have known. But who is this?
This is really useless. I like 7 specifically for Jack. The other antagonists do not interest you nearly as much. That's fair. Margaret is not... Margaret is creepy, but she's not as menacing as Jack is. And then you get to, I mean, spoilers, I guess. But I'll just go ahead and say spoilers out here. Be ready. Evelyn... Lucas is, like, kind of a bitch, you know? But I think Lucas is fixed a little by the DLC. The DLC where you play as Chris and go deal with him. Appreciate Lucas for the we need random puzzles and traps and bullshit in the house, and the explanation is just him. Yeah, he's functional for what that is. Definitely. For perks, I really have my pick. Screw it, let's get a Sandevistan. Put it on the quick, and we'll be good. Seriously, Amada, did you just find that lying around and decide it's yours now? Yep. Good for you. She's finally learned how to live in the wasteland. That is kind of an interesting through line between 7 and 8. Is the first area is easily the best. Like, it's like hands down the best, most fun, or most, like, interesting part of the game. And after it gets a little, Like, Castle Dimitrescu and the Baker main house are... They're what you remember most playing their games. Now, I will still give 8 credit for Heisenberg's place is still pretty fun. And I appreciate the mechanized body horror they do. And actually, 8 in general, I appreciate that it's like a completely different genre of horror each area you go to. And the first one, it's very gothic with like vampires. Then comes the dollhouse, which is very, like, ghost. Not the ghost movie, obviously. More like Poltergeist or The Exorcist. Or, like, the creepy doll, you know. Then you get something imitating, like, Shadows over Innsmouth with just the deep sea horror. Honestly, it's more like Jaws than actual Innsmouth. Because you're not actually, like, fighting... He is not eldritch in any way. That gross fish guy. If anything, I'd say Mother Miranda herself is more eldritch. Then you get Heisenberg with his very, like, horror steampunk thing going on. Okay, there was a door to the basement somewhere. Where was that? This direction. Happy Tuvix Day, everyone. I might need some help with that. Tuvix. That sounds familiar. Feel like I should know what that means. Y'all doing like you finished the job. 3 days ago today, Captain Janeway smothered nascent life in the proverbial womb. 30 years. I was like, days? And we're already celebrating it? Is now the time? Bang, bang. Yep, knew that was damaged. It's the gut feeling. Really tired, couldn't sleep last night. You have to tell everyone about Tuvix Day. Needs to be remembered. Like, I've forgotten a lot of that series, just because it's been so long since I watched it. But I remember the finale. And it felt a little out of nowhere. It's not that any part of it was strictly impossible by any means. It's just that...
There you are!
I don't know, it was very Deus Ex. It wasn't something really built up by the rest of the series. I guess in some regards it technically was, but... I don't know, it just felt like they found out that was their last episode and had to finish it off there. The reception area through there. Tuvix is a combined form of Tuvok and Neelix from a transport accident. No, I'm remembering that. That's unrelated to the question I was asking. I understand that it sounded like I said something completely unrelated. That's because I did. Separate individual, unique form of life, and Janeway killed him. Shaking my head. Yep. But one could equally argue the act of not killing him would be killing both Tuvok and Neelix. One could be wrong. It is an argument that should be addressed. Right or wrong, you gotta bring it up. There he died. Not resurrecting someone is not killing them. True enough. I mean, if the argument's good enough for Batman to get away with letting Ra's al Ghul die... Though you could alternatively argue, if someone can still be brought to life, are they truly dead? When does life truly end? Culturally, it's usually a... Safe that requires a key. I believe this is the modded safe. Where the quest for it is, I couldn't tell ya. I thought I was supposed to have started it here.
Aren't you cute?
Bottle caps. One moment while I check on something. Where do I start this quest? Yeah. Where the hell was... Let me say, Whoop, patio area behind the Chrysalis building. I was way off. I was not supposed to go inside at all. Sarah, how's your gun doing? No longer well rested. Oh darn, whatever shall I do? 2 guys die in an accident. It's a tragedy. Executing one guy to bring them back is an atrocity.
Of course.
Huh. There's a sniper rifle, a minigun, and a tri-beam laser rifle that she just has. So weird. I don't know what Sarah's doing with her gun. I think Titans of the New West is being a little odd. Okay, that was not the way forward. Or backward. Most of the lower offices. I'm trying to go back to the reception area. I get turned around so easily. Ah, this is what was behind that very hard locked door. Okay. And a patio area behind the Chrysalis building. Maybe this over here? They did add a bunch of locations with it, I think. Townhouse. Doesn't sound like a patio. Townhouse. Town with an E. Nothing in here, it looks like. Empty safe for a different thing. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Patio behind the Chrysalis building. Supposed to be some kind of NPC I can talk with. My map ain't picking up no NPCs at all. Got a decent perception stat. If there's an NPC around, I'll know. Oop, that loaded in. Raiders over here? Wherever here is? Raiders with power armor. Where'd they go? Ah, here they are. That's how long that lasts?
Can't stand the sight of your own blood.
Oh right, both legs broken. You have stuff into them? It's like raiders using scavenged Enclave gear. That's kind of cool. Yeah, dead Enclave. The raiders overtook them. This is cool, actually. Actually take that to fix the Lincoln rifle a little more up. .40mm grenade launcher.
You. Okay, I still think this isn't where I was trying to go. Where am I trying to go, then? Oop, patio area. The hell is it talking about? Really? Give me just one moment to figure out where the hell this is supposed to start. Okay, think I found what I was doing wrong. Building's back over here. I was... apparently the mod author and I disagree on what the hell behind means. That's a fun one. Behind would, to me, imply the side without the entrance. I would assume the entrance is the front. No. No. According to them, behind is the front. Vegas safe key. Find those keys now. A trail of crumbs. You mean you need more fucking time? I've had enough time already, damn it. I want those keys now. Just get it done. No excuses this time, you hear me? Wait for Red at the back of the Chrysalis building. He's on the way and should be there shortly. You that saw the Chrysalis building a while ago and asked me why it's not in New York? I didn't ask you that, but I was like... Hang on. I was like... That sounds like the Chrysler building. Wait, no, the Chrysler building is in New York. Why the hell would there be something... I did question why they called something that sounds so much like Chrysler building and put it nowhere near where the Chrysler building would be for this fictional car company. I did question it, but I didn't ask why... I think it did take me a minute. Okay. On the way and should meet you there shortly. You are starting to piss me off, and you know you don't want to piss me off, so finish it now. Hey, you know it's a mod. Immediately starts with swearing. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. How do I know the keys to Corvega? Shut up about that. Nothing in the notes said anything about it, just maybe something on the key implies the Corvega assembly plant. The Corvega factory. I think I'm thinking of a spot in Fallout 4. I am curious if you are able to figure out who this mod author is, because they've done some very known stuff. It has Corvega vibes. I don't believe the author has, like, a reputation or anything, just... Some people just don't like some of the stuff they made. I don't think there's been any kind of controversy about them. Oh, right. Their controlled death goal has worked for me instead.
2 arms, brother, 2 arms.
Ah, that death goal is doomed. Mike Honcho is an old head. Sure enough, you recognized it immediately. Out of the scene for a long time. He updated this to make it TTW compliant, so
Not fully, I think he just stopped making new stuff. Hell, it got updated within the last year. Always liked After School Special. Interesting. I'm to understand you... If I'm not mistaken, he's also responsible for A World of Pain, which you don't like. No one bats 100. Let's be fair. No one bats 100. Roy manages the TTW version. Ah. Ring Road Gas. Another quantum. We didn't do AWOP? Oh, no, it must have just been Roy who made the TTW version of AWOP. That must be what I'm thinking of. Or who managed the TTW version. Biggest mod, you guess, is Helgen Reborn? Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Never played around with it myself, but I've heard of it.
Over here!
Where?
It's so crazy having to self... It was okay? It's so crazy having to self-regulate myself from taking rad away. Because I keep looking down and it's like, oh, I have rad poison. No, wait, I need the first level. So Sarah is the newest member of this whatever the hell it is. I have to wonder what questions she asks about Bug's weird behavior. Why does he rip off people's fingers? Ever heard of the regulators? Oh, no, that checks out.
That's the end of that.
Roy's been one of the chief figures in TTW's development. He's been in and out of the project lead chair. Ah. I believe Roy is also the one who wrote up the, Wasteland Survival Guide mod pack that got me started in TTW. I believe. Or he was at least involved in writing it, if he didn't do it personally. Ordered some of the biggest Fallout 3 mods to get that scene moving. Fair enough. That's community built? It... apparently Roy was involved, though. Because... I think I actually remember in mentioning Roy and I worked on this together a few times. Probably been involved at some point. Roy's a big figure. Yeah, I can tell. Name keeps getting dropped when I look through mod stuff for TTW. Ah, ants. Hey, a lying congressional style. Too bad we didn't bring Tanya. This would become simple. Oh. All the ladies and dog meat here, it's simple already. Sometimes he vanishes because he's a little crazy. He always comes back because no one ever leaves.
Stay back! Over here! Where?
Big Book of Science. There's 2 skill books in here? That's crazy. He's the guy in the few interactions you've had with him. Oh, you've interacted with him. That's neat. It is funny, I keep going, looked through Fallout 3 mods, and a bunch of the time I see, like, comments from people who are like, yeah, I've only interacted with the TTW version, but it's still worth bringing credit to the original. Because really, this is just a more functional way of doing the same thing, which is still a crazy thing. How unoptimized does your game have to be that the best way to make it work is to port it into a different game? What fighting game was it that literally the only accessible way to play it was in one of the Yakuza games, and they did that for tournaments? Which one was that? I know it was one of them. It's not the same problem. Virtua Fight, it had to be. Ruka would know. Ruka, are you still in here? He'll know. I think he's even the one who told me.
Leave me alone!
Ruka, get in here. We have a fighting game question. This is literally your moment. He probably stepped away and left the stream open. That happens pretty often. I think he's actually busy right about now.
To arms, brothers, to arms!
I assume you're talking to myself and Dogmeat when you say brothers? Or you're very confused about Amada and Clover's everything. Yeah, I have the ending song of Sam and Max Save the World stuck in my head since yesterday. Or at least the opening line of it. Stick a fork in, open wide. Everyone is Max inside. So I went and listened to it audibly after the stream, because you can't really hear it in the actual credits. It's very quiet. Have you ever checked Amada? Here, if a girl isn't willing to prove it, you can't trust her. Oh, that's how we're crossing over your favorite series, huh?
Flank 'em! To arms, brothers, to arms!
Jesus! That's cool. The cinematic fish universe. It is funny, like, in the novels I'm writing, I've genuinely considered putting Bug in as a background character. And he doesn't get involved with the plot because it's interesting enough by itself. It's not like Fallout where nothing happens if he doesn't make it happen. If I had him do anything, it'd be a novella, just mini thing. It'd be one of those, yeah, if you look into the actual lore of this story, the strongest character is someone who's barely talked about, because his ability is he can pierce plot armor. What? Yeah, he can just kind of pierce plot armor. If he chose to do something, he could change the outcome of the story in spite of the writer's wishes. How the fuck does a character have that ability? Shut up about it, that's how. Reminds you of the sky renders from Tamriel Rebuilt. The lower poly, and the sounds are less nauseating. Sky renders. I feel... Oh no, I remember. Right. The friggin' meat wasps. Ant Queen pheromones. -3 perception and intelligence, but +3 charisma. Is that a Morrowind reference? The friggin' pheromones from that make you way more likable, but stupider? These things were awful. The sounds were terrible. But I think they're actually very fitting Morrowind enemies for that exact reason. Because think about it. The most memorable Morrowind enemies all suck to fight. $100 caps, 4 Radaway, 4 stim packs, LOB Enterprises safe key. Alright. Find the key in LOB Enterprises. That's funny, honestly. And it's going to end at the place where we started, too. I'm betting. Oh yeah, but I hate them. They make my skin crawl. No Morrowind enemy does that to me. Really? None? Is it the sound or their appearance?
Stay back!
I assume the sound.
That's the end of that.
Bit of both, but the sound is the biggest thing? Probably, yeah. I think they're a wonderful addition. Like, I keep having to remind myself they're not canon.
Where?
Because they're like, man, the meat honey is disgusting and such an Elder Scrolls thing. Like, they fit so perfectly into the world. Tells you how lovingly crafted Tamriel Rebuilt is. How do I get up there? Not through here, that's for sure. Up here, maybe? Possibly? Yeah, I think so. And plenty of Nuka-Cola. Now, my understanding for this quest is it was set up to give you a reason to go to some pretty interesting locations already in the game. Like, for example, this one. There's an ant queen here. All these ants, and there's no quests tied to it whatsoever. It's like, okay, let's tie something to it. Let's do something with this area that the devs chose not to do anything with. And I appreciate that. Gets me back. I gotta go through Marigold Station. Alright. Bug's not in a rush. Stick a fork in, open wide. Everyone is Max inside. Might have to make that a sound when I get sound bites. Such an earworm. It's all nonsense. Not entirely a TR creation. The Parapton is from the comic The Origin of Cyrus, which was a prelude to Redguard. The Dres use them as mounts. Ah, okay. You were curious about that too, then.
I'm cold. Two arms, brother, two arms. Yeah, tear them apart. Oh.
Critical strike, you say? For 0 damage, you say? Imagine a dress cat catcher flying one of those fuckers. Terrifying. I need to remember what the hell dreads look like. Give me just 1 second. Oh, they're a Great House of Morrowind. They look like Dunmer. Bleh. Dumbass. Of course they look like Dunmer. They are Dunmer.
Leave me alone!
Yeah, the big agricultural house. Sorry you're not very useful here, Clover. And just imagining Dunmer riding around on giant hornets. Ah. More rural and conservative than the other houses. They even stick more to traditional Daedra worship than tribunal worship. Interesting. Boom. That is fascinating. Did they just get away with that? The Dres... They're definitely not a house you ever join. Guess they get away with because they listen to what House Induril says, so Induril doesn't call them heretics. Ah. If House Induril says you're not heretics, I guess you're not heretics. Or at least you're useful enough that we don't want to be rid of you. Boom. Essentially the breadbasket of Morrowind. If you could elaborate slightly. Just a little smidgen. Control most of the farmland and do most of the agriculture. Okay. I'm still not fully sure on the analogy there. Mainland anyway. Hlaalu does that on Vardenfell. Right. Because time and budget constraints, let's be real. That's the actual reason that it's like that. Oh, hey, something's going on over here. Yep, that's what's going on over here.
For Elder Lion!
Bang, bang. Breadbasket is a term for a region in a country which produces most of its wheat. Ah, okay. It's just they're a people instead of a region, so that didn't quite... Yeah. I guess you could say their lands are the breadbasket. I'm splitting hairs here. Your thing was fine, I just missed it. The dress control the breadbasket. Okay, yeah, no, that would've... I want to say that I would have caught that faster. But it's equally possible I still wouldn't have understood, even though I recognize that term. If I'm being real with myself, genuine chance I fuck it up anyways. Part of myself I need to work on. I can be wrong, and that's not wrong. I'm cringe, and that's based. I'll never be based, and that's not cringe.
To arms, brothers!
This lands are the breadbasket of mainland Marl. Their people do most of the farming. So despite having generally low status and low political influence, house dress is essential and no one wants to piss them off. Yeah. Oh, what was that? You don't like, who I'm worshipping? Have fun without any food, jackass. Like, how do you respond to that?
To arms, brothers!
Whoop.
To arms!
Leave me alone!
You don't like Daedra? Hope you don't like eating either, Swit.
Leave me alone!
That's actually it's such an interesting idea. And so true to life, too. This group, they break all the rules. They're not that powerful. But, if we stop letting them do what they want, we all die. So, yeah, have fun dealing with them. They're also the biggest slave catchers. Ah. Then probably the house that... if I had to imagine, Ungoth probably would have torn apart the hardest. If they have that much farmland, they must also control the most slaves, would be my guess. At least, largest number of them. Got them doing all the crops. Because, historically, that's what you use slaves for. Grow the food. It's the most labor-intensive, necessary thing. You can't just not have the food get grown. But also, you don't want to pay people to do that, so go steal people from somewhere else and make them do it. Now that I think about it, I believe there were a few Drez plantations that Ungoth might have, beheaded a few, you know, guards in. I know the Hlalu trade them the most, but that just means they're in charge of getting them places. Doesn't necessarily translate to controlling them at all times. The Telvanni generally don't have large-scale operations to have a ton of slaves in. Like, I'm not gonna say they don't have slaves, or even that they treat them well. But, like, most Telvanni are individuals who just don't need that many to do what they need done. So it's hard to imagine the Telvanni are leading there. The highest demand for slaves, and they share borders with Blackmarsh. I have to imagine they were hit the worst by the post-Oblivion raids, then. Although, Helseth had also abolished slavery by then. I think. Oh yeah, fucked up. Abolished it, but it's not like there were no hard feelings afterwards. Lost a good bit of their land. Consequences. What else can you call it but consequences by that point? Because after 200 years, still plenty of those elves are the exact same elves, let's be real. Think Morrowind managed to reclaim some of it? Probably, yeah. They had to be sweating losing a lot of, active farmland. Interesting that no enemies seem to have damage resistance. Just damage threshold. Wonder if that's a holdover of trying to keep the game balanced with New Vegas. Or is that how it always was in 3, and that's why enemies felt like such damage sponges? It'll also explain why a lot of the damage bonuses are flat bonuses, or at least why all the best ones are. Like in Base 3, Ghoul Ecology. Without, external patches, it works against all enemies because it doesn't check correctly. So you just have a +5 damage bonus to all weapons. TTW fixed it, and it should, but it's always sad when an exploit gets fixed, you know? Are they punching? Okay, let's get the one with a gun. I got the one with a gun. Yeah, the Anzalil were not fans. Took over some southern territories. They claimed were ancestral Blackmarsh lands, which... were they? Ancestral land is such a questionable thing. That's gonna explode again.
alone!
I say this as possibly the #1 Argonian fan. Realistically, the Anzalil are probably just the Argonian equivalent of the Thalmor.
I'm gonna tear your fucking throat out. It's go time. God damn it. Ugh.
It's funny the big slave house is the one that allied with Halsleth to outlaw slavery. Figure he appealed to a popular revolt of the unskilled, unemployed labor force. I think he just kind of warned them a slave uprising was probably the death of Morrowind, so don't let them be slaves when they uprise. Bang. We're outcompeted for farm work by slaves who work for the unbeatable wage of 0. Oh, okay, no. More scared of the, like, abolish slavery by saying those slaves are taking our jobs. God. We need to... I don't want to say this because this is an actual real thing that happened in real life, what I'm about to say. We need to institute a minimum wage so that those, less desirables who were not allowed to hire at full wage can't get jobs. You want the real reason minimum wage was ever passed in America, that is actually it. It was trying to price quote-unquote undesirables out of the market. It worked. Ah, it's a terrible thing. You gotta weaponize the racism for the greater good sometimes. Where the hell am I going and how did I miss it? How far off track am I? True, in fairness, one of the problems with slavery is it takes a lot of jobs off the market. That is one of several problems with slavery. It does cause economic stagnation. Money is not flowing as much to the lower class if they don't have employment opportunities. And slaves usually take over lower class working conditions. There are some middle class working conditions slaves are chosen for, but usually it's lower class. It's usually only very specific types of slaves, if you catch my meaning. Not its biggest problem, but it is one. Won't somebody please think of the economy? Like, as someone who genuinely went to school for this kind of thing, well, not for this kind of thing, I minored in this kind of thing. But, really, the issue, one of the biggest issues with the economy is that all the people in charge of the biggest businesses are actually dog shit at running big businesses. Because they don't understand they need to be long-term to work. Otherwise, they're going to kill themselves within a few years.
Don't kill me!
If I don't make it fast, Clover or dog meat, or possibly Amada if I'm being real, she's gotten kind of feral recently, will make it slow. Morrowind household slaves are usually Khajiit, Argonians preferred for fieldwork. Take that as you will. You'd imagine it would be the opposite, because, like, I feel like there's way less chance of cross-contamination with, you know, a hairless slave. Hair is one of the biggest ways to make something dirty or not really good to eat. So you'd imagine Argonians who don't have any would be picked higher. And, like, if you have feathers in your food, you're gonna notice them well before they go into the actual, like, oven. Like, that's something you're gonna pick out. Gonna be well within the margins of safety.
If anything, I have to imagine it's purely racism. That Khajiit are considered more visually appealing than Argonians to the Dunmer. Or more appealing in some respect of some kind. Maybe not, it doesn't have to necessarily be visual either. Nothing else, Khajiit are essentially mammalian like them, so they're more alike. Yeah.
Hey! Where?
Ah, Talon Company and Raiders. You... Need to keep my pistol fixed up. Ooh, sugar bombs. So, Amada, you were his friend in the vault, right? Yeah? Do you know why he's obsessed with sugar bombs and Nuka-Cola? Nuka-Cola, he can actually freeze them and make them pretty good. I've had a few. Like, what do you mean freeze them? No, refrigerate them. I have a functioning refrigerator at my house. Oh. What about the sugar bombs? I don't know that either. Clover? He knows a guy who buys them? Okay. You think many a Dunmer slave owner keeps a Khajiit in the bedroom, if you catch my drift. Nah, I got that too. If the Nords practice slavery, I'm sure they'd do it as well. Never ask a Stormcloak what race his wife is. I went way off course. Where the hell was I going? Hang on. Something happened. Oh, each day reset, they disappear from your inventory. I was wondering about that, because that was like the second time I tried to do that. Winfad niskos evenar orinal kra dinok. Here lies a beautiful Khajiit, Anurasa, whose warmth cannot be extinguished even by cold death. This is real lore written by real Nord scholars. Yep. It's weird none of the words are Anurasa, when that's a name. Then again, I don't think the dragon language has proper nouns now that I think about it, because all of their names are made up of other words. This is an interesting thing I think I just now realized. Didn't mean to copy the dragon language part. Oh. Only got the bottom half. Alright, fair enough. It is interesting. I guess you would still say someone's name, but it'd be another language. Hetnokbrit Kaz Anurasa
When fad niskos evenar orinal kradinok.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like every
Brother, to arms!
every proper noun, like, in dragon language is borrowed from another language. There are none that are purely a function as a name. Now, granted, names that are purely a name with no real origin, those aren't terribly common, but they do definitely exist in other languages. It's interesting, for the dragon language, where every word has specific meaning and power behind it, there can't be a word that is purely a name. The name has to have meaning behind it. Dragon names are combinations of words? Exactly. Like I was saying, there is no such thing as a name that is a function of only being a name in the dragon language. There's words in other languages that are a name and nothing else. Is that intentional lore or just laziness? Who can say? Language didn't reach the point we have in some modern languages like English, so names often exist only as names. That's true. To be fair, in most fantasy settings, most names still have some kind of meaning.
That takes care of that.
Because that's actually a fairly modern event, I suppose. It's a pretty modern change to naming conventions.
From that,
Oh, hey! Brother to Steel's playing around out here. Paladin Hoss, you have no hit points whatsoever. A language where every word has power to manifest its meaning, not sure what a dedicated proper noun would do. That's the thing. Like, the closest we have is shouting a dragon's name in its correct order calls them. So, hypothetically, if there were a name that was nothing but a name, it should still do that. It also seems like in dragon culture, it's a very individualistic culture in a lot of ways. No two dragons have the same name. They might share a root word at some spot, but there's not two Parthenaxes. Who the central naming authority for dragons is? That's a good question. On that same question, are dragons... How do I put this? Do dragons reproduce? Where do more dragons come from? Like, we're not led to believe Parthenax is the parent of any other dragons. Do they just spawn in when Akatosh says so? But we know some dragons are older than others. Like, Parthenax and Alduin are older than some of the... Alduin, specifically, is the firstborn of Akatosh. Are all dragons siblings under Akatosh? They have genders, we know of the female dragons, but that doesn't necessitate that they reproduce. And an immortal species wouldn't have much reason to do so anyway. It could genuinely be that Akatosh gave them each their name as they were born.
hostile.
imagine they were all made by Akatosh at roughly the same time, starting with Alduin and then Parthenax. Yeah. Alternatively, they were all made at exactly the same time, and Alduin calls himself the Firstborn, purely because no one will call him on it. Alduin is a dedicated proper noun. That's interesting. That actually makes me wonder, were all their names initially dedicated proper nouns, but then they drew the language from it, and Alduin simply said, there will be no words derived from my name is mine and mine alone? Or, alternate idea, is Alduin's name made of dragon words, but those words' meanings have been lost because he is so much more important than even those concepts? That he alone embodies those words now, and not the concepts the words are meant to mean. Here's the thing it is. Don't know if we can break it down into 3 words. Alduin. It's 3 syllables. Parthenax says it kind of like Alduin, I think. Yeah. Memo to all personnel, emergency protocol. Standard policy, all employees are required to carry low-grade military-class weaponry at all times. It's the HR policy A12. In the event of a hostile takeover, your desk can be used as a makeshift barricade. Position the desk between yourself and your opponent. Crouch behind the desk while firing any weapon approved on Form B43-2. Cafeteria privileges will be suspended in the event of a hostile takeover. Hostile takeover.
Aren't you cute?
I didn't think this is what hostile takeover meant.
Because I'm going to kick your ass when I find you.
I was under the impression it meant buying up all of someone's stocks so they can't say no to you anymore. But you seem to involve it with guns. It's a funny way to do it, for sure. Caps and emails. I'd like to remind everyone that despite the impending federal invasion, standard company policy is still in effect. Specifically, do not write emails in all caps. Style is offensive to your coworkers. Thank you for cooperation. Send item man to the doors. Oh fuck, they're here. Man the doors. The feds are here. Oh, okay. Sometimes the oldest ones are at the bottom, sometimes at the top. Makes me mad. I hate that they're not consistent with that. Weapon practice tonight? Anyone who'd like to practice with their low-grade military class company issue, Sam and I will be shooting rounds off in the yard at 7 p.m. Bring your own beer. Oh shit, they're here. Don't send in all caps. It's still against company policy. That's a good gag, actually. Actually, it is a 3-word compound. Just sounds different because Alduin comes from before the Skyrim Dragon Lore. That makes sense. Because in old lore, Alduin was believed to be the Nord's name for Akatosh. But they added a book in Skyrim that adds that that was an academic oversight. That a jackass from the Empire said that despite all the Nords he talked to saying they're different entities. And he ain't Akatosh. Destroyer, Devour, Master. Fair enough, yeah, that's him. You have mentats in your food dispenser? Weird. Again, an interesting little area with some character to it that you have no reason to go to in the base game. So they give you a reason to go here. I think that's good enough for a mod. Pugilism Illustrated.
Can I have a better gun?
It is interesting that Alduin is kind of a Luciferian archetype. You know, the closest to the King of the Gods who betrayed him and kinda tried to subsume his place in the Pantheon, to the point the Nords actually weren't aware of Akatosh, because I believe the exact reason is Alduin had so thoroughly replaced Akatosh's image with his own to them. Wonder if he'd gone more global with the Dragon Cult, or more continental with the Dragon Cult, or if he'd had that stick around longer, if he could have genuinely taken Akatosh's throne by that method. Because that would be a means of mantling. Akatosh did name the dragons. Why'd he name Alduin Master? Probably because he was supposed to be in charge of the other dragons. He is in charge of the other dragons. He did not intend for Alduin to do what he did. Emergency protocols. Yep. Sexual harassment charge. Director of Human Resources, Samuel Johnson. To Samuel Johnson. Mr. Johnson, I'd like to remind you the company policy forbids any form of harassment between employees, sexual or otherwise. Specifically, you will refrain from greeting any female employee with the phrase, "Hey doll, want to see if this is a grenade in my pocket, or if I'm just happy to see you." Statement is not only offensive and inappropriate, could be considered a misuse of company-issued grenades. Betting mastery in his nature and not expecting him to seek mastery was a major misplay. Well, possibly, yeah. Responding to federal raids. Or maybe it was supposed to be a test for his first two born to be like, alright, this is going to be your nature, don't follow it. Still a jackass move, don't get me wrong. But maybe that was his idea. Due to the increased awareness of your upcoming project milestone, you and your fellow employees may be required to initiate emergency defense procedures, outline employee handbook, yeah. Like I said, it is noteworthy. Pre-war America in this setting was not sexist in the slightest. It was actually not racist, for the most part. It was jingoist. Chinese citizens were probably discriminated against, but it was because they had ancestors from the country of China. Interracial marriage was not looked down on. Now, apparently it was very widely homophobic, we see. Was that openly lesbian couple in the Fallout 4 opening? I have no recollection of that couple. But that might also be a Bethesda retcon.
Where?
Guess maybe they weren't open so much as super fucking obvious. That's also the thing. Spec Ops Training Manual. That's gotta be the most plentiful book in the DC metro area. Actually, in just the Capital Wasteland. Maybe they said they were sisters or something? Possibly.
Aren't you cute?
Like I said, I actually don't remember the couple you're referring to. Because here's the thing is, I very rarely play the opening of Fallout 4. I make a save right before leaving the vault. And just use that. So I've not seen it more than like twice. Once when I had it on PS4, once when I got it on PC. Todd needs to chill with the lengthy intros. To be fair, I don't know, I think Fallout 4's intro is pretty good. I think there are places you could cut out of it, but at the same time, it's kind of necessary for the story they're trying to tell. Now, whether or not they should have tried to tell that story is another question entirely. I'm fine with the first time. There needs to be some kind of skip mechanic. I mean, technically there is. You can just save. Admittedly, Skyrim, you can just kind of save. You can actually save right before character creation in Skyrim, which, again, I do for my own replays. Not good for a modded playthrough, and these games are also designed to be modded. That is also true.
This place sucks.
Like I said, you can argue they should stop trying to give the player character motivations outside of what the player wants to give them. Like, by trying too hard, they are kind of taking away from the experience. Mil, 556, stim packs, bottle caps, Red Racer Factory safe key. The Red Racer Factory. I actually have been there, but it's been a while. I think the Skyrim intro is pretty good. The Skyrim intro also isn't that long. Balances their desire for big narrative showpieces with player agency, and it doesn't take too terribly long. Yeah. The Skyrim intro isn't that long, and it lets you fill in the blanks yourself for your character's motivations for most of it. Like, the motivations they apply to you are ones that are universal, which are, God, I didn't want to get my head chopped off right there. And I should get away from this dragon before it kills me. Motivations literally anyone can side with. Our intro will always be the GOAT, because it's wham bam, thank you, Ken Rolston. I mean, the New Vegas intro is just as good, I'd say. It really is, like, you can skip the tutorial part of it completely if you want to. It's never fair to include New Vegas. That is also true. It's also not a Bethesda game at its core, because it wasn't made by Bethesda. New Vegas always wins. The house always wins. The house always wins, but who is the house?
Lethal force may be used.
I thought I was the house. Josh Sawyer? As far as being vindicated by history, yeah. Does he still make any games? Like... yeah. Wait, did he actually make The Outer Worlds? Don't remember if they've been good or not. I don't remember if the actual New Vegas team was involved with The Outer Worlds or not. At least he hasn't had huge controversies or gone crazy like Chris Avalon. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to leave now. Found the safe, I can go. Most recent game was Pentiment in 22. Never heard of it. Or that Pillars of that's oh, he was involved with Pillars of Eternity. Was he not involved with the second one? There's 2 Pillars of Eternity games. Guess he doesn't do that much. This list is pretty small. Yeah. Alright. Red Racer Factory, just over there. He was involved in the second one. Okay, okay. Yeah, the second one was 2022. Or was more recent. It wasn't 2022. God, what am I talking about? I have both of those games, actually. They're very much like Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. They're not like Baldur's Gate 3 well, in a broad sense they are, in that they're still that style of, you know, tabletop role-playing game style brought to the forefront, but gameplay is much closer to the first two games. I should play those at some point. I don't recall if I've ever beaten them. I've possibly beaten the first, but definitely not the second one. I think I actually got the second right before I got my new computer, so I don't think it ran very well on my old computer. Hey, a shotgun. My current shotgun was falling apart a little bit. Did Todd let Larian make Test 6? I don't know if Larian is, like, action RPG setup. Like, I don't know about that one. They do great turn-based stuff. They could make a neat test side game, though, I bet. They definitely could. Like, I'd absolutely say give Larian some IPs to do cool stuff with. Hell, if you want Bethesda to give them something, I would not mind if they were handed the Tactics one to just make a new Tactics game. Fallout Tactics, to be specific. I don't think that would be a terrible idea. Desperate for a half-decently written test, we need this. That's also true. Now you know every Test 6 rumor is fake, because they sound interesting. Yeah? Yeah. I remember years and years ago, there was a fake leak that it was going to be Black Marsh, and I was excited. That was so long ago, they weren't working on Test 6 at the time. Or at least not officially. I think I've said before, I believe the most likely candidate for them for the next test place would be Hammerfell. Better hope it's not Black Marsh, or Black Marsh is about to become Florida. I'm aware. But like I said, this was years and years. I think this was like 2016. Like right after Fallout 4 came out that I had heard this. I don't think it's gonna be Black Marsh. I think Hammerfell is way more likely. Because I see them defaulting to humans again. Even if it's the most alien human group, I see them still defaulting to them. I think they'll return to the Iliac Bay region. That's feasible. A little Hammerfell, a little High Rock. Could be. Could be.
Just get away from me!
Ghoul grinder. I grinded the ghouls. More Hammerfell this time instead of more High Rock. Yeah, I feel like we had enough political maneuvering in Daggerfall. Though then again, political maneuvering might force them to actually write. Who knows, though? Do you think they'll work the spaceship system into a boat mechanic? Because that's a very Todd move. I could see that, and I don't even really, like, disagree with doing that either. Because, like, boats are cool. Black Flag is a beloved Assassin's Creed game because the boat sections are so fun. Boats are cool, yeah. I know World of Warcraft people have been wanting to do their pirate update forever and a day. I don't think they've done it still. To be fair, I haven't checked out what the latest one was. Something is here. Something's happened. You like the idea of mobile player housing? Yeah. And pirates are cool. I will hear no arguments. Like, on the pirate ninja debate, I've always been on the pirate side, despite being a weeb. A big reason is that pirates have cool guns. And I think guns are cool, and therefore are cool guns. Yeah, the idea of bringing back the boats from...
Leave me alone!
Yeah, this motherfucker was just here. Ah. Super mutants. Noted. Nikola Tesla and you. I do not need fragmentation grenades. I don't need stim packs either, but, you know, they don't weigh anything, apparently. They also never jingle in my pocket and accidentally jab me.
Game
Where?
Level up.
Elder Lion! Need some help?
Ah, but a new fight started. The hell? The Surgeon. A missile launcher and refused to use it. Surgeon's key. The Surgeon's lab coat. Tinted reading I don't need the reading glasses. The hell is this? The fuck is happening here?
Just get away from me!
Okay. What the fuck? This is vanilla location. Pretty sure I've heard of this guy before, but I'm only just now remembering all that. You do. Take the second level of GRX. Now it's 3 seconds instead of 2. Some quantum. Alright, see what the fuck this guy was going on about? The surgeon. No one sane is called that. You're called Doctor something if you're a surgeon with your mind. Now granted, being called Doctor something doesn't ensure you have your mind. Notes on Stefan. My masterpiece. Stefan is now under my control. The latest chip I installed in him seems to have taken, and he is now mine. The effort to capture one of these glowing ghouls was immense. Finally, I can take solace in the fact I have one under my control. Limited intellect means I'll have to keep him downstairs with the rest of the ghouls, but I pity any rabble that poked their head in here now. Is that why all their heads were exploding whenever I killed them? He was putting control chips in everything's heads. That's a cool little detail, actually. Like, I was noticing that, but I wasn't saying anything because I wasn't sure why it was happening.
This place sucks.
A little bit, yeah. Here we go. Fixer pre-war money. Oh, this wasn't even this was just a little bonus one. Here's the safe. Bottle cap, Cliffside Caverns. Rad-X, Radaway. A radiation suit I don't need. Stick a fork in, open wide. Everyone is Max inside. Just that line alone is burrowed into my skull. Yeah, on the subject of, like, mobile player housing, this is, like, this cool, there is this cool mod for Fallout 4, where it's a mobile, like, armored vehicle that can just be your house, essentially. You need fuel to move it, but it works... If you have that, it can work like fast travel in survival mode. There's a cool mod I was considering picking up. Just as my means of diegetic fast travel in Fallout 4. Though again, Fallout 4 will not be for a long while. But I still do want to be thinking about what mods I'll be running in it. That's over there. That's the Overlook Drive-In. Red Racer back office. Huh. Someone's having a firefight over there. Dot's Diner, southeast, I think. Oh, damn.
Target locked. Attack.
Bang. It's funny, you can always tell which ones I killed by if they have a finger and human flesh on them. Then we know Bug dealt the killing blow, because that's how the perks work. Dang, I'm almost out of match. That's fine. My other weapons need workouts. Eh. Was that spam detected? Nah.
Stay back.
Yo, guay. The difference between drawn speed and holstered speed is pretty noticeable at this point. Kind of fight going on over here?
Hey.
Ah yes, Talon Company. Versus some raiders. Boom. 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 Finger. Right away. Anyone have a Lincoln-esque rifle on them? Doesn't look like it so far. Some 5mm and a disposable rocket launcher. How many raiders you think found a disposable rocket launcher? We're like, oh, I got plenty of rockets, I'll just, you know, I'll play with it a bunch. And then it broke the first time they used it, and they're like, what the fuck? Considering it's a modded weapon, probably 0. After this, I'll stop by Tenpenny to offload some equipment.
Right, I have been in these caverns before. Oh, I missed a little bit of stuff, it seems. Where am I looking for? Little area I haven't been to here, okay. That is the point of the quest. This was a big old bear cave with some dead raiders in it, from my memory. Well, not as dead as they maybe should be. Case in point. You give to me this ammunition. Ooh, give me that 32 rifle as well. I can fix up Lincoln's repeater with it. Another Spec Ops manual. Keep booze in their footlockers. Pre-war book. Bunch of chests, or safes, whatever. 308, some 44, 100 caps, Rad-X, Radaway, Wheaton Armory. Check real quick. Yeah, my 5.56 pistol's fine.
Sucks.
I don't know, I've seen worse raider hideouts. I think I did mistake this for the bear cave. A varmint rifle. Do love me a varmint rifle. I love the idea of the piddly-ass weak weapon you get to start with, but if you get all the upgrades for it, it becomes really, really useful. Not necessarily top damaging. Like, if it becomes top damaging, I think that's... I'm of two minds about that. But it should be a pretty good option, is what I like. A game with some kind of upgrade system for weapons. Your starter weapon should be old reliable once it's fully upgraded. If it's a gun, its ammo type should be one of the more plentiful ones. If it's a melee weapon, it should be decently durable or something to that effect. Like, the baseball bat and the varmint rifle are what come to mind the most. The varmint rifle gets
silenced and good crit damage. And the baseball bat will work forever. Ah! Dogmeat got in the way of me turning off that mine. Bad boy. Naughty, naughty doggy. Not mean to take that human flesh. We just don't need it. I don't need pulse mines either. Wait, I was gonna stop by Tenpenny before I go further. Aha! No fall damage.
Alert. Hostile detected. Lethal force authorized. Primary systems
That takes care of that.
Hmm. Do my little hops because I do them.
I'm bored.
Small town girl. Aren't you?
Give me a second. Keep your panties on.
My panties are firmly in place. I can't speak for everyone in this party. Dogmeat doesn't wear any, I can tell you at least that much.
Everybody, this is Three Dogs, your friendly neighborhood disc jockey. What's a disc? Hell if I know, but I'm gonna keep talking anyway.
3 dogs coming out of that, but can't hardly hear him.
Daddy Dashwood and my stalwart old manservant Argyle. Today's episode, Escape from
That... Really store some of these books, because they're quite heavy. Some of these special Mentats flavors as well.
magnificent bastard. You did it. Don't thank me yet, boss. We still need to get out of here. Let's go while the guard's away from the front gate.
I have a ton of Nuka Quantum. Should run that by
That girl we came to
our dear friend while I'm over here.
come on. Always with the dames. All right, she's locked in there.
Hey,
They call it
Hey, Tanya.
box. First, we need to remove that guard.
What is it?
Allow me.
Scavenge anything lately?
Of course.
Hey, fella, got a light.
100 electron chargebacks.
Notice?
Please.
Haha, now the door. Child's play, boss.
How much ice gold do I have in here? 38?
Okay, lady.
I'm good with the 55 I got on me.
What? Boss, it's empty. Hands up, chumps. Nobody escaped.
Let's collapse for an entire day.
Now let's move back to the pin, nice and slow. Wait for...
Drop this deal, you slaver scumbag.
So Sarah is still the newest part of this dynamic, easily. Although, technically she met Bug before Clover did.
Wait a minute.
He did very briefly run across her when he was just fucking around through the DC metro area. They didn't really interact. What is her dynamic in this party? If I had to guess, she recognizes Bug as the person who gets things done, and decided she could best put herself to use by being over there with him. She does also admire him a great deal. I do wonder if there's any amount of hostility from the other two, though. Even unreasonable. Like, they both know Bug 100% chose to go into that room by himself. Like, Sarah did not make him do that.
Oh my god, I don't want to.
Sorry, you don't want to what? It's almost 600 damage on that crit. Love it. How are my weapons doing? My hunting shot... everything's mostly fine. I can leave that to pick up later. Going to go by Girder Shade to turn in these quantums first. By the way, teaser for the fic I'm writing. I have given it a way more official name than I had for it before. It's now called Does Quantum Make It Glow? It's not too hard to guess what that's referring to, but it might not be your first guess. Unless you've read the part that it explains exactly why that is. Which one person has. 2 if you count me.
Just get away from me!
With a well-rested bonus, I get double experience at this point.
Just get away from me!
Chop, chop.
Hey, Elder Lion!
Come on, Biggie. I know red scorpions, just huge-ass damage sponges. Not just health sponges. They don't have that much damage reduction or damage threshold. They have a little bit of damage threshold, but their reduction is 0. But I think most enemies are. Possibly because having both of those stats actually... If you have just one of those stats, it's okay. If you have both, it's kinda crazy. So that being limited to...
Yay! You're back!
I have more quantum for you.
I was just wondering when I'd see you again, and poof, here you are. Oh, sweet quantum, come to mama.
Good to see you again too, Sierra. There it goes, 16 quantums removed, 800 bottle caps added. We at on caps? 18,483. Way more than I think is normal to get in Fallout 3. Bang. Yeah. Nice aim, team. Ooh, Animal Control 3. That took a while to get. I guess there's kind of just not that many mutated animals in Fallout 3, the more I think about it. Heading towards some kind of armory. I don't recall which one. Huh. You know what I haven't found? Most of the super mutant behemoths. I've only found 2 so far. The one you fight during the story, and the one in the cage here. Wonder where the rest of them are. Because I think there's supposed to be 5 that you hunt down for a challenge.
Just get away from me!
That's the end of that.
For Elder Lion.
Remember when Yao Guai used to be scary to fight? I was only like 50 levels ago. What changed?
Help me!
Ugh. Ripple cripple. Limberjack. Stranger Than Heaven comes out this winter, let's go. I might need you to explain that to me. Stranger Than Heaven? Why we had to endure Kiwami 3. Oh, is this an RGG game?
Look, but we just get away from there.
Because their other one didn't get to come out, or even get to be fully made. Ah, Death Claws. Gang wasn't an RGG game? It wasn't? Oh. That's genuinely shocking to me. Nagushi left RGG and his first game was going to be another Yakuza game. Ah.
Stay back!
Except he apparently blew the entire budget he was given on hookers and drugs. Do we know that's what it was, or are we joking that that's what it must have been? I'm cool either way, I just want to know, I just want to be on, I just want to know which side of the joke I'm on. Joking, but I think it's not unlikely. Apparently, I heard there was some kind of really stupid expense. But again, that might have just been a rumor. Lucky guess. 50-50. I flipped the coin and I called heads. It's a lock? Sure enough, there's a lock. No, he had a 40 mil budget, somehow did not manage to complete the game on that and need another 40 mil. I'll say at least part of it was... He actually had a pretty big name actor playing the lead, I believe. Very impressive budget mismanagement. Yeah. I'm not gonna say I've ever managed that amount of money, but... I don't know, I look at the budgets of some games that have come out, and... that's not number I see. This is a workbench, not a reloading bench. At least recycle some stuff I have. Put it all on Nike and likeness characters. Not a good look. Like, realistically, that probably means he's never gonna make another video game. Like, that... investors are going to see that and turn tail and run. And, without investors, almost certainly it looks like his studio is shattered. Yeah, this is... it's honestly really disappointing. Because I'm sure the game would have been great, but... mismanaging the money that badly just... Alright, fine. We'll use, honestly, kind of more fun version of VATS. But it's spell slots. Instead of mana. Yeah, I'm gonna level with you. That's actually more fun than using VATS. Yeah, without having made a single game. Absolutely cataclysmic look. Yeah, that is... That's not something you can come back from. You leave your stable studio to go do your own to try to make the same kind of game, and then immediately fuck it up. That's... Oh, man. The problem is, like... It's not just the investors. He's killed a lot of goodwill with customers, too. Because he released the trailer when the game wasn't done, which gamers hate now. Like, that is actually starting to get on people's nerves. Releasing, like, trailers like that well before the game is even anywhere near ready to come out. People are getting sick of that. Hope he has some cash saved up to live off, but I wonder if he does. He looks like he lives hard and fast. Yeah. I mean, it's not like Sega's gonna take him back, I don't think. Honestly, they'd be foolish to do so. I hope he is okay through this, but I think he's done making games, unfortunately, after a blunder this big.
Hey, stay back. Where?
But hey, the new RGG comes out. Maybe we'll find out if he was necessary for it or not. I don't know. The guy who kept giving himself credit for making Mega Man tried to make a new Mega Man, and it was a memory leak disguised as a game. I'm not trying to imply it would have been like that here, but there's no guarantees in this life.
Failed.
Was out of Magnum ammo, but I have 4-aught Magnum as well, so I'm not scared.
Over here!
Reload, reload. Yeah, it's such an unfortunate situation. Man. It's funny to think if he'd done that, like, 10 years ago, he probably would have tried to... It might have been like a Kickstarter video to make the game. And it probably would have been possibly like 4 times as bad when he mismanaged all the money. Because in like 2016 and 17, there were a ton of like devs leaving, like who were very dissatisfied with their company not letting them make the game everyone wanted them to make. So they just turned to the fans for it, and then...
Leave me alone!
Too many burns. Like, Mighty 9 was the biggest one. I made reference to that a minute ago, but... I wouldn't say Yooka-Laylee burned fully. It didn't live up to the hype, but the hype was also kind of insane for it. I mean, it was what it wanted to be. I think a lot of those is like people expecting the next coming of their perfect game. And then when it was just kind of about as good as what they said it was going to be based on, they were unfairly disappointed. Like the Castlevania one, I played it, I can't remember what it's even called. Like, I saw a big criticism for it being, well, I mean, if you want a Castlevania clone, it's that. It's like, yes, that's exactly what it was advertised as being. Being a Castlevania game because friggin' Konami won't make them anymore. Like, were you paying attention to the sales pitch? This is 100% what the promise was. If you are disappointed to receive what you ordered, that sounds like a you problem. Sorry, that one pissed me off because that one was really unfair. Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, that's what it was called.
Just get away from me!
There's more than one of it, too. Because there was the, like, big full one that was, like, Symphony of the Night styled. But then there was also the prequel game that I think actually came out first. But, like, it was kind of just a side, it was kind of a bonus thing that's based more on the older Castlevanias. Which means it's not very good.
Medic! That's the end of that. Can I have a
No need for a medic. I'm a mutant now. I just heal. Although I don't think the sun will be up much longer for this to heal quickly. Sorry, you heal in sunlight? Yes, and also from being irradiated. But being slightly irradiated doesn't really do anything to me anymore. If I get really irradiated, apparently my broken bones will pull back together. I've never tested that. But that's what Moira says would happen. How did you mutate in such beneficial ways? If I said parts of it were on purpose, would that make even the slightest amount of sense to you? No. Well, there you go. He's always this cryptic. Raiders versus Enclave. Obviously, I shoot at the Enclave first. Oh, Brotherhood Outcast also involved. There's an interior here? I've been through here like a dozen times. I don't think I've ever noticed this. Wheaton Armory. I never noticed the interior. Probably because it's hidden behind the door being bland as shit. Woo, this place is radiation central, baby. Let's, haha. Oh, this is why they gave you a radiation suit in the previous one. That's neat. No wait, I have the environmental suit.
I'm hit!
My rad resist should be 85%. Yes, maxed out right now. Actually, don't know if the suit is helping with that. No, it does not. Just a Radix gets me to the cap. Owie. Very hard locked terminal. Let's get rid of the duds. Okay, let's see. I have a lot of shuns, so let's start with civilization. 7, okay. R-E-S-U R-R-E-C. Nope. Only 4. Organization. It's got the Z-A... It's got the I-Z-A-T-I-O-N. Z-A-T-I-O-N. O-R-G-A-N. Organization only 5, so it does not end in... isation. Maybe just the Asian, then. Purification. P-U-R-I-F-I. P-U-R-I-F-I-C-A-T-I-O-N. It can't be purification, it's too many for organization. Infiltration. I-N-F-I-L-T-R-A-T-I-O-N. Next for organization. Civilization. I-N-F-I-L-T-R-A-T-I-O-N. Infiltration. Awesome. Cool. I'm gonna unlock the door manually, though. Oh. Apparently that set off some sort of alarm. Probably not good for me. Oh well. Ooh, Scout Handbook. Tons of missiles. Some Army T-45D. Army, that's unique. Block Mox. I will take these. Tons of 5.56 I can try to turn into 5.56 match. I say try like it'll be a challenge of some kind. Ooh, weapon repair kits. Really need radiation suits, though. Turret control. Preparing.
I just turn them off. Ah, here's the safe. Some 556, bottle caps. Mama Dolce's safe. Bunch of Radaway. I like them giving you a lot more Radaway here. Level up. Could get more damage threshold, but I don't feel like I need it right now. Roche's loyalty doesn't seem that useful. If my health is that low, my companions, they don't jump in to start tanking for me. If it made them start doing way more damage, it'd be useful. But as it stands, kinda meh. Daddy's Boy is actually kind of tempting for the chem lasting, because that could apply to the implant GRX. Gun Nut for the reduced spread, and... yeah, let's get Gun Nut, actually. For not just the reduced spread, but also item condition stays higher longer, which would be great for Lincoln's repeater, which falls apart very fast because of SWC ammo. And reduced spread is just good in general. Alright, going back south. Am I right now? I'm here? When the hell did I get here? I got completely turned around. Let's actually stop at Regulator HQ, which is just over here. Turn in all these fingers I got. Got it a little bit. It'll be fine. No longer well rested. Oh well. Whatever shall I do?
You should talk to...
It's always good to see one. Then you've been
fingers.
busy. You've done good work. Good deeds should not...
So yeah,
Sonora.
that's 2,000 more bottle caps. I think I've surpassed 20k now. Yep, almost 21k. Alright, I don't have much reason to stop at Megaton. That would vastly increase the length of the trip. Well, it let me go to a workbench to make some more 5.56 matched, but that's all it'd let me do. Stick a fork in, open wide. Everyone is max inside.
And for what it is, I think this mod, I see why this is one of the most popular Fallout 3 mods. Like, for the simple goal of adding a reason to go to a bunch of cool locations that the game doesn't give you a reason to go to, it works. Oh wait, I have this T-45 and recon stuff. That's actually kind of a reason. Army Recon and Army T-45. Kinda heavy? It's quite heavy, actually. Alright, I have some weapon repair kits as well. Who's over here? Ah, just an Enclave I bought. It'll be fine. Hang on. Passing by the Chrysalis building. I imagine this is going to end in the Chrysalis building, because I saw a locked chest in there that required a key. I keep calling them chests, they're safes. They're treasure chests. It's an RPG, I can call them treasure chests. But the pedant in me gets mad at me for doing it. And I'm gonna be real with you, the pedant side of me is one of my stronger aspects. Realistic cricket noises, who'da thunk? Realistically annoying! As someone who lives in goddamn cricket country. Yeah, it's times where it's real hot, but I'm not gonna leave the window open at night because there's fucking crickets everywhere. Loud as shit. They never try to come into the house, they're just loud as shit. I honestly think they're worse than the cicadas. Because at least the cicadas leave, you know, the cool shells around. With grasshoppers is like, you are noisy and you contribute nothing to my life other than the noise. Cicadas at least look cool. And if you don't think cicadas look cool, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, and that's only especially true for wrong opinions. We wouldn't have to say people are entitled to their opinions if their opinions stopped being wrong. I have not been in this train tunnel before. Fun. Oh hey, some quantum.
Just get away from me!
Well, you're entitled that opinion, regrettably.
Almost out of magnum ammo. But that just means I'll switch to 4-aught. Unless I found regular... This 20 gauge, I think? Nope, implants. It's midnight. Really wish I didn't have to keep doing that. Because it works by removing them from your inventory and resetting them.
Leave me alone!
In the process, it removes the quick thing on them. I can see why they're considered kind of a pain. Arlington Cemetery North. I think Amada still has combat lines like she's scared even though you trained her into a killing machine. Yeah. Even though in terms of raw skill points, she's at a 180 out of a possible 100. Junder's Plunket. Oh, this! Oh my gosh, I never found this. Noticed all good men and women seeking lawful bounties in the capital wastes. Let it be known that the murderous person known as Junder's Plunket, of fair complexion, average height, missing one good eyeball, is offered for bounty, either dead or alive, in the sum of 1,000 caps or similar compensation of expended equipment and or medical expense. Junder's Plunket was last seen committing theft and murder in the township of Canterbury Commons. The apprehending person should exercise special caution, as a bountied personage is noted for an uncommon aptitude with small, concealable blades. Near Canterbury? What? Oh, this is regular 4-aught. Okay, here's the 4-aught Magnum. Damn it, I changed my equipment. That means my arm disappeared. I hate that that keeps happening. Such a weird bug. Yeah, I think Amada is one of the weirder implemented companions for the sole reason that her base AI doesn't want to do companion things. It doesn't want her to stand and fight, it wants her to run, which is why she keeps doing that duck down thing. And her fight lines are supposed to be... Like, the only time she's supposed to be in a fight in the game, she's supposed to be running from it. Like, if you let her keep the 10 mil in the beginning, she actually uses it to escape. Which, part of me wishes Bug had done that, but... he honestly wasn't expecting Amada to get hurt at that point. He got her anyway. Maybe teaching her up was partially a regret of not letting her learn it by herself. People's Republic of America.
Greetings to the oppressed mass.
Quietest radio... The radios in this game are so goddamn quiet. Pip-Boy sound in general is just quiet as shit. Can't hear any of it. Alma Dolces. I presume it's Dolce. Maybe I'm making pre out of both you and me. That would be embarrassing if so. Alma Dolce food processor by appointment only. Well. I already tell something's wrong here.
Turret control. See if these turrets can do something useful for once. Journals. You have gained the Leet something perk. The hell does that do? Axe Supreme. Yeah, I need to see what the hell I just got. Elite Hacker. All that hacking has improved your knowledge of the Robco OS. All terminals are now easier to hack. Okay. That took a billion years to get hold of.
Just get away from me.
Hell? Chinese remnant soldiers? I shouldn't be shocked that it keeps coming out with amazing things that I didn't know were in the game, but I keep being shocked by it. Actual Chinese remnants, not simulations. What a time.
Leave me alone.
Don't suppose it'd be too much to ask if any of you were at Anchorage. If so, I simulated killing you already. We have a lot of sugar bombs here. Come on. The sugar bombs, give to me. This food processing plant was a front for a Chinese spy operation. And a big one where a bunch of them lived an extra 200 years. Mama Dolce's encryption key. So many sugar bombs. Again, I think this mod, for no other reason than giving you a good reason to explore. Oh my god. This is like the only rolling pin in Fallout 3. I'm hanging on to it for that reason alone. I saw, I think Nurbit do like a challenge video of it, and he had to come here to get it, I'm remembering now. No idea what he said. Might not have even been real words. The hell? You know, they must see someone in power armor and immediately think, by God. Tumblers today. Wonder if they really are thinking the government found us. Dang it. There it goes. Ooh, a recharger pistol. Those are cool. I'm not taking it because I don't need it, but... Bottle cap. I don't need mines. Roosevelt Academy. I actually have been there.
I'm bored.
You're fine, Clover. Yeah, I have to say, my mod satisfaction, very high with this one. Yep, it would have been a lot of annoyance to find these places by myself. This gives me a good reason to just have them. I like it. Oh, hey, the loading yard. Place is huge. Arm thing is annoying me. I will fix that real quick. Like is referred to as Earthly Angel at this point. Not a terrible descriptor, actually.
Leave me alone!
Whoop, something was going on with the fingers for a sec, but we're all good now. I don't know if anyone saw that. Weighing me down a lot, but it's not the only thing giving me stuff. Also the Nuka-Cola and the absurd amount of sugar bombs I've found. Yeah, Bug's also coming in wearing the coat of the general who led their most famous defeat. You know, I can see why they're shooting first and not asking questions. Person in power armor, person in a military uniform.
Holy shit!
It's all quite, Speaking of that uniform, I use yours to fix mine. The true American spirit. Steal from everyone else to make your thing better. Back to the cemetery. How many doors to the loading yard? Let's try a different one. I want to explore the lower part of it, where a bunch of them are. Also explore over here a bit. I don't think I went into this room. It's a bathroom, but I wasn't in it. Copy of Guns and Bullets. Yeah, the skill books I'm finding are probably also weighing me down some. We'll need to stop at a place after this. Some kind of house. Took a wrong turn.
To arms, brothers, to arms!
I wonder, are they using the same Chinese lines as the Operation Anchorage ones? or rather, were the Anchorage ones using the same ones as them? Which is, say, poorly translated. Because in Anchorage, it's like acceptable because it's something of an in-joke. Like, yeah, no, of course the US wouldn't try to actually make them speak the language properly. They just make it sound vaguely Chinese. Did that just for luck, schmucks. I'll lock your schmuck. Right. Headed to the Arlington Metro and... Forgot to remove the regulator thing. Megaton's actually on the way this time. Once we're out of the Arlington Metro, I mean. I think I'm putting emphasis on the wrong part of Arlington. Not sure. Hiccups. $9 mil. Ah, there's actually flowers on this one. A Pulowski. Mannequin with sexy sleepwear, wine, and shot glasses. Huh. Mannequin hoping to have a good time when this is all over. Fortunately for them, Bug does not fuck inanimate objects. Not even once? He's yet to, at least. How would he know if it's interesting or not if he hasn't tried it? Well... I'll grant you that, but...
Stay back!
Oh, a Talon Company ambush. How cute. Remember when those were actually really hard to deal with? 50 levels ago. Actually, even 40 levels ago, they were kind of tricky. Eh, not really. Even by level 20, you're kind of blasting through those guys. Who's around me? Ow. Couple of mole rats.
Nowhere to hide. I've played some pretty modded, high difficulty games. Those town ambushes can be damn near impossible to beat. Nowhere to hide. If you're not able to damage sponge it, you have almost no shot. That's also true. Yeah. I mean, Bug is getting by... For one, he actually has good DT and DR. Like, 33 DR, 15 DT is pretty good for being a light armor build. And for two, he's got a bunch of companions who shoot first and don't ask questions. If anything, it's not much of an ambush if you're the one being outnumbered. Yeah. Modded very high difficulty, I'm sure that could be... They could just suck.
Stay back!
If you're just looking for difficulty, that's the one thing I'll say the CFEE mod, this companion overhaul, that's the one place I really can't recommend it, because if you're doing like a no charisma run, you can get pretty OP with Lone Wanderer, which just gives you flat damage bonus and 15 damage threshold. If you're doing high charisma, just overwhelm them with pure numbers. Low charisma, overwhelm them with you. Use a mod called Bleed once. Added strong damage over time in the form of bleeding and burning. The fire ants were fucking insane. Oh, I imagine. I do like the idea of their fire damage being a huge problem, though. I haven't found any bobbleheads. Huh. Okay. Rolling pin goes in. Honestly, I should put my combat shotgun away. I don't use it anymore. Let's put these things in, and... One hit you with a fire was all over. Like I said, I like the idea of fire being a very difficult damage type to deal with, just because there's not really any armor you can have to deal with it. Although I'd argue a radiation suit should be pretty fire resistant, actually. Like, those things are kind of designed for... Well, it's not necessarily they're designed for it, it's just that most of the things that block out radiation are also really good at stopping fire. So I don't know. If I were adding that mod, maybe I'd make rad suits also give you fire resist, equal to the rad resist they give you. Maybe not even equal, but... That does make doing those correctly also really important. Although, after you've done those, there's not really any other fire damage for the rest of the game. No, actually no, the Enclave has a bunch of flamers. It's probably pretty important there for that fire resist. Although maybe the fire resist damage wouldn't actually have helped you with the dot if it was programmed by a person who wanted you to suffer. Which, granted, it's probably the point of something called bleed.
Failed.
It's an interesting challenge. You had to sneak the whole time and get them from a distance. Yeah, kind of a sniper setup. Because the good part of it is, yeah, they do have very short range with their fire breath. Actually, I forgot to do, like, workbench stuff there, which I do want to do. Back to Megaton.
Like, I need to make more 5.56 match. Maybe some more 4-aught Magnum. What about the bleed? I imagine that's from, like, sharp melee weapons. Man, if someone had a shish kebab, you're just getting damage over timed to death. Wait, do I don't think I have a workbench in here. I can just go to Moira's for that. I did see, and I didn't install it because, well, I'll get to why. There was a mod to add Moira as a companion, and add her as, like, a character who grows with you throughout the entire story. But I'd basically already finished the MSQ by then, so it absolutely would not have been able to do anything if I'd installed it.
Anything.
Really made you understand why fire-based weapons are often banned. Yeah, they're kind of... yeah. Break down all this regular 5.56. Found billions of it, apparently. There we go. Now we make it into match. There we go, 600 bullets. Okay. I feel like an alternate universe bug in Moira made quite the dream team. Me too! That's why I'm very disappointed I didn't notice it sooner. I actually found it because the CFEE mod works with it, because Moira's apparently a romance option with that mod. 12 gauge, I can tear apart some 12 gauge as well. I really feel like that could have been a very interesting way for the character to go. But probably would never have picked up Clover if I'd known that ahead of time. So... you know... what could have been... some regular 44... that I should turn into SWC. Breaks it down thrice as fast. What else? Any of these I care about? 45 Super. That's funny. Yeah, it definitely would have been really interesting, but just, I didn't notice I didn't find that companion mod until I was... when did I find that? I think I found that while I was doing, I found it while I was searching around for a mod to make, Mothership Zeta better.
Welcome to Megaton.
I was kind of shopping around for mods, and I came across it, and I looked at it, I was like, some of it's kind of interesting. And then I came back to it later, like, actually, every story aspect I can think of would be more interesting if I installed this. Maybe I can do a special bug what-if stream of, like, an alternate timeline the capital with Moira. That could be interesting. Thing with Bug is... I do want his abilities to have some hard limits to them. Big example is, there's fixed points he simply can't do anything about, no matter what. He cannot prevent his father from sacrificing himself. He can't prevent his father from leaving. He can't prevent himself from leaving the vault. Like, that's stuff that just has to happen. He can't do anything about it. But he doesn't know about those rules until they've already happened at least once. So anytime I pose a what if, it's not a what if Bug did something different, it's usually what if the world allowed Bug to do this. Hold F? What was? Just sidestep the rocket? Oh, I wasn't even looking. I play the best when my mind is on other things.
Just get away from me!
I have a hunting shotgun and almost 600 really good bullets with it. I've kind of devolved into the standard gameplay loop of New Vegas. I see mods as the extent of how he can change the world. Alternatively, mods could solely be something he's not even aware of. Something beyond even his semi-fourth wall breaking abilities.
Just get away from me! Damn it!
I think it's outside his purview. Partially because I think my change to the charisma mechanic, like where charisma determines your number of followers, I've kind of made that retroactively true even in Bug's mind. He doesn't remember Dogmeat and Clover traveling with him at the same time anymore. At least not initially.
For Elder Lion!
Yeah, basically anything very hard-coded into the game that modding around would kind of kill the point of the game, that's something Bug absolutely cannot change. That's part of why although I think it could be interesting, I'm not doing the mod that makes James survive in the post-game. It just adds a quest where you can find him and he's got some explanation for how he lived. I mean, if the player lived through it, it's not impossible. He did the exact same thing. But yeah, I actually run faster through water. That's a really funny side effect of radiation, of atomic.
2 arms, brother, 2 arms!
Yeah, normal punches still hurt like a mother. I do like to think Bug's unarmed skill is the one thing he's actually bringing from his own world directly. Like, that is straight up magic infused into his punches. There's no other explanation for how he hits people that hard. That's him punching with his soul. Like how not only is James' sacrifice stupid, because he could easily take all the Enclave in the room. The sacrifice is narratively pointless, because the one guy James was trying to kill didn't die, because he had an anti-radiation MacGuffin. Yep. It's pointless in every aspect, which is part of the reason I like the idea of James living through it, because, okay, if a death accomplishes nothing, don't kill them. I think that's a good writing prospect. If you accomplish nothing by a character's death at all, I don't think killing them is a good idea. Now, that accomplishment can be the character development of a different character, which is why I'm keeping it around, because it actually helped Bug as a character. In that, I am largely envisioning that is one of very, very few things that has made him actually genuinely mad. Where he wasn't even... His normal, I don't want to kill people because they're more interesting alive rule did not apply to General Autumn. Colonel Autumn? Whatever the hell his rank was. It was, I could easily let you go, but I hate you. I'd like him to come back and be embarrassed about it. That could be pretty funny. Bug's party is slightly full at the moment. He is like there as a companion. Like, his thing is, he can turn dirty water into purified water via dialogue option, and I think he makes purified water and Aqua Pura heal you more, like give some kind of buffs, and those buffs become stronger if your karma is very good. I believe that's what the mod does to him. Like I said, a lot of these companion mods I found because the companion overhaul has, like, patches for them. Ah, here's the teeny tiny safe. For the Chrysalis building! Okay, I think we're about done then. Because I feel like bookending it is what they're gonna go for here. Girls, if you could perhaps be slightly more gentle with me next time. And with each other, for that matter. Jeez, Amata tanked that shit. She took almost no damage. There you go. Get your leg fixed up. I swear, there was some kind of... Let me check something real quick. I feel like this exists, but I might be crazy. Okay, there is an ammo swap, but it's not bound to anything. In that case... What should I set it to? Right control. Yep. Admittedly, that's not very fast. So let's actually bind that to something my left hand can reach. Sneak is left control. Does C do anything? I don't think C does anything. Let's try a little Dragon's Breath as a treat. Oh, lovely. Oh, I love it. If that weren't such a pain in the ass to find, I'd be spamming that. I'm gonna be real with you. Dragon's Breath is the coolest shotgun ammo to exist ever. And it is a real thing. I will say, however, apparently the real thing absolutely ruins your gun. Like, it is not supposed to have fire going through it. Like, you are gonna fuck up your rifling. Or, not rifling in a shotgun, obviously. But you are going to fuck up the barrel very fast, and some of the mechanisms too.
For Elder Lion!
I think Elder Lions can do it for himself. Actually, got to use the atomic perk. The damage bonus on it is so hard to utilize. I'll be tearing up the divide with that, though. How far away am I? It's probably the last place I go to for this stream. Because at this point, it will have led me... It's not leading me to a new place, it's leading me back to the start. Whoa! Doggy. Hi there, Deathclaw. Stand, Devastand. Bang, 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 bang. Ooh. do we got over here? So many rat scorpions, actually.
Stay back!
Ow! Yeah. Ooh. Those ones hurt. Not gonna lie, those ones hurt. Cannot cross the bridge here, because the bridge is broken here. Of course it is. Go over to the other bridge, where... Here's a fight's going down.
You won't touch the water.
Oh, hey! Slavers! Bang, bang. Quite a throwing arm you got. You immune to crits? What the hell was all that? Oh, this is some random scavenger. Well. It's not like he needs any of this. He's dead. Oh, he was an Agua Pura guy, though. Well, I think there's something for drinking so much Aqua Pura you vomit. Who can say? Wee. Okay, note to self, death claws can still hurt. Of course, when you're regenerating this fast, hurt is relative. Almost back to the Chrysalis building. We'll go through here to run a little faster.
think I'm approaching the building. Obviously, I'm not there just yet, but I'm approaching it. I think these are the Bethesda ruins.
Want to dance, please?
Do-do-do. Here it is, I believe. Perfect timing. Already cleared the place out anyway. I even found the safe itself. Yeah, the mod author saying the patio behind the Chrysalis building, sorry to tell you, behind is the side without the entrance. Like, I don't know how to explain that the entrance is at the front of a building. You can maybe lack a back entrance. Lacking a front entrance is fucking weird.
Today's episode, Super Mutant Mayhem.
Into the basement. Yeah, they let me found some cool locations. I like sits. Oh, no, there's more. Fort Bannister. There's Ultra Jet in here, jeez. Does anyone use Jet? I feel like AP comes back so fast you don't need Jet, ever. Like, if you need more AP, you can still shoot someone while you don't have AP. Like, it doesn't force you to not fire your gun. You are not helpless. It's not like Turbo, where it's like, you're also able to start dodging bullets because you're moving so fast. Alright, Fort Bannister. But that'll have to wait until next time, I think. There's a nice little bookend moment for the stream. I start here, I end here. I don't know how much longer the interesting locations will have. But I know after this, I've also got a bunch of, like, regulators bounties. There's, like, more than 40 of them. I'll see how many of those I do before I go insane. But that is going to do it for this one. I zoned out for a sec. I'm going to stop the recording for YouTube here. As always, thank you so much for coming if you came. If you didn't come, you don't get a thank you. Well, bye, YouTube.